So this problem is asking us to simplify by rationalizing the denominator. And thank you to Erin for requesting to see this problem on my YouTube channel. Okay, so what does it mean to rationalize the denominator? Rationalizing a denominator means to get any radical that you have in the bottom of the fraction, you need to get rid of that out of the bottom of the fraction. It's okay to have radicals in the top, but not in the bottom after you've rationalized the denominator. Okay, so this problem has two terms in the bottom. Since it has two terms in the bottom, we'll need to rationalize by multiplying top and bottom by the conjugate of the bottom. What the conjugate means is that it's the same two numbers, but the sign in between is the opposite. So we'll multiply top and bottom by 3 root 5 minus 1, because that's the same two numbers, but the sign is opposite. Multiply the top by that as well. So now, let's start by distributing out the top. We need to FOIL, and keep in mind that when you're foiling, or when you're distributing, you need to multiply the numbers on the outside together and the numbers on the inside together when you have both whole numbers and radicals. So this will be 6 times 3 is 18, and then root 5 times root 5, we can write that as root 5 squared. So that's the first. The outer would be 6 times root 5 times minus 1. The minus 1 multiplies by the 6 to make negative 6. And then root 5 times, there's no root here, so the root just stays the same. Next, negative 2 times 3 root 5. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And then, again, there's no root here, so bring down the root 5. And then the last, negative 2 times negative 1. A negative times a negative is a positive, plus 2. Alright, and that's the top. On the bottom, we have 3 root 5 times 3 root 5, which would be 3 times 3 is 9. Root 5 times root 5 is root 5 squared. And then the outer, 3 root 5 times negative 1. The 3 and the negative 1 make negative 3. And then we bring down the root 5. Here we have a plus 1 times 3 root 5. That would be plus 3 root 5. And then positive 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Okay, now that we've done all the distributing, we can simplify and combine like terms. The root and the square will cancel out, leaving us with 18 times 5, which is 90. And here, both of these terms have a root 5. We have a root 5 and a root 5, so those are like terms. So we combine them by combining their coefficients. Negative 6 and negative 6 makes negative 12. So negative 12, and the root 5 stays the same. The part that makes it the like terms will stay the same. Then we bring down our plus 2. On the bottom, we have a similar idea with the top here, that the root cancels out the square. 9 times 5 is 45. Here we have like terms again, but we have a minus 3 root 5 and plus 3 root 5. So because those are opposite signs and the same terms, they cancel each other out. And then we can bring down the minus 1. From here we have like terms again on the top. 90 plus 2 is 92. We don't have any like terms with the minus 12 root 5, so we'll just bring it down. And then on the bottom, we have 45 minus 1 is 44. Okay, And we're almost done. The only thing is now all of our terms outside the radical are all even. So we can look at simplifying that. If we divide everything by a 2, that would be 92 divided by 2 is 46. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so that would be 6 root 5. Over 44 divided by 2 is 22. Well, now we have another round of they're all even again. So we can do 46 divided by 2 is 23. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 22 divided by 2 is 11. So now 23, 3, and 11 now don't have any common factors. And 5 under the radical is not a composite number, it's a prime number, so we know we can't pull anything out of that. We've also gotten rid of the radical out of our denominator. So for all of those reasons, we have finished, and this is as simple as this problem gets. All right. Well, I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please leave me a like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see similar problems. Also, if you have any questions that you'd like to see a similar homework help video to, feel free to leave those in the comments or send me an email, which is down in the description. Happy studies!